Welcome to techCast, the podcast that quenches curiosity, powered by Q&A Markham. techCast, where we deep dive into the exciting world of technology, bringing you the latest trends, innovations, and thought-provoking discussions. Join us on this exciting journey as we explore the boundless possibilities of technology.
Welcome to another edition of techCast. Our guest today is Nitin Bhatnagar of PCI. Welcome, Nitin. It's a pleasure to have you. Let's begin by introducing you, the kind of work you do and what PCI does.
Thank you, Anita. Thank you for having me here on your show today.
Pleasure.
My name is Nitin Bhatnagar, and I'm the Regional Director for India, South Asia, and Middle East with PCI Security Standard Council. And in my role, I'm sure many of your viewers know about it. I work with PCI in a capacity of creating education awareness around the standards of PCI. Also engaging with the stakeholders in the region to get feedback on our standards so that we can improve and make them more robust, and as well as influence these standards from the region.
Absolutely. Nitin, now we're going to talk about a very interesting concept, which is the rise of fintechs in the region and payment security in particular, the evolution of the payment landscape. So let's begin by talking of the evolution of fintechs. What do you think is driving the rapid rise of fintechs in the GCC region in particular?
Yeah, so I think, if you have to look at the region, I think this region is drastically transforming into the different phase of digital transformation that's happening, right? And I think what is important here is to know that the regulators, the policymakers are trying to work really closely with these stakeholders, and most importantly, you have to also look at it. You have a young generation in the region.
Absolutely.
It's a young talent that is working in the space of cybersecurity and payment security, trying to make those changes, bring those changes.
Right.
So that's one thing which is definitely shaping the industry, and as well as helping the entire payment industry to grow.
Exactly. I think it's that upcoming generation and their perspective, new perspectives, fresh perspectives that they're bringing to the whole industry, I think.
Absolutely. And also, more importantly, if you look at the strategy for the region,
right.
For the different GCC countries, you talk about the UAE, you talk about Saudi Arabia, their vision and their strategy for long run has been really very transparent and clear.
Absolutely. Now, with innovation accelerating and being on the fast track, how do you think fintech companies can strike the right balance between user experience and payment data security?
Yeah, I think fintechs are probably the organizations who are contributing to the growth of the payments. I think that's one proactive approach that everyone has to take here is adopt the best practices, the best practices and adopting the data security standards.
Right.
Getting their employees trained on different standards.
Right.
Making sure that they understand what is required to be done in order to protect the payment data, right? So, talking about the adoption of standards, standard adoption helps you in ensuring that you are protecting the payment data at large, and with having the right set of training. For example, PCI Security Standard Council offers the trainings like PCI ISAs, internal security auditors.
Right.
We have a PCIP training. So these trainings helps you get the basic. PCIP, for example, helps you getting the knowledge of what the payment card industry professionals, the knowledge that payment card industry professionals should have.
Right.
When it comes to PCI ISA training, which is a payment card industry internal security assessor training, which gives you a perspective of how you should be doing audit on the standards of PCI, and obviously secure the payment information within the payment infrastructure that you are managing, right? So these are the few things: adoption of the standards, getting your employees trained on the necessary standards, and getting them trained, making sure that they understand the nuances of the different aspects that they have to look into it is critical.
Absolutely. I think
Yeah.
a lot of it is to do with awareness and training and sort of channelizing the whole industry.
And more importantly, Anita, see, you have to look at if you want to really get involved, you want to really get a feeling like you should be contributing to the standards.
Right.
PCI Security Standard Council is a standards body, and we
Right.
here welcome all the organizations to come and help us improve these standards, influence these standards by becoming an associate participating organization. So, which means that you have access to the right information, right?
Right.
Information. You are able to provide us the necessary feedback through the request for comment process that we have,
Right.
and also you get to participate in various activities that the PCI Security Standard Council does. Part of various activities in terms of the special interest group,
Right.
task forces that we have, where we need your inputs, where we seek your guidance, how we can evolve these standards, how we can evolve the standards of PCI. So, joining us as an APO is another way that you can contribute and that can help you understand how the global payment industry looks like.
Absolutely. Now, based on your experience, what do you think are some of the biggest security threats currently facing digital payment systems?
Yeah.
And how are industry bodies like PCI Security Standards Council addressing them?
See, if you look at the stats, a recent report by Checkpoint, it says that there has been almost like 50% surge in the cyber threats.
Right.
And I think as a PCI Security Standard Council, we have been evolving our standards.
Right.
The PCI DSS version 4.0, is a standard example of is just a unique example of how we have evolved the standards of PCI to help industry protect the payment data. Whether the threats looming around could be a phishing attack, could be a ransomware attack,
Right.
could be the third party risk that comes with the outdated payment softwares that could be there, or probably the weak passwords, which is very common today, right?
Right.
A weak password can help the attackers to compromise the systems, right? So these are typical things. These are the threats. This is the kind of threat landscape that we are looking at, and our standards have evolved. We've included new requirements around how you should be protecting yourself against phishing. We have the requirements around helping you understand on the ransomware attacks, third-party risk. So it is a evolved standard. We're talking about when it comes to the weak passwords. We have brought in the multi-factor authentication as one of the requirement. Now, few of the requirements were the best practices until a couple of weeks back. Now it becomes they have become a mandatory requirement. Now these are the best. They were the best practices until 31st March 2025. From 1st April onwards, they are the requirement of the standards now.
Right.
So the standards are evolving. So the threats are also evolving. But we are ensuring that the standards are updated from time to time. And that's the reason in my last couple of minutes back, I told you about how the industry could contribute to the standards. We want to know what's happening in the industry.
Right.
We need to know how we can involve the stakeholders to provide us the inputs of the standards. And hence, we are doing the Payment Security Summit that is just around the corner.
Absolutely.
And we want to tell the industry stakeholders that this is what the PCI Security Standard Council has been doing to help them protect the payment data.
Right. It's nice to see that PCI is so involved hands-on with the trends and what's happening, because that's the only way I think you can combat the evolving threat landscape.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, with advancements like AI that is reshaping the future of payments, can you share some insights on areas where the PCI Security Standards Council has actively contributed or plans to focus on going forward?
In fact, this is a very good question and very timely. We recently published the guidance around the uses of AI for the PCI assessments. And this guidance document is available now and live on the PCI Security Standard Council website. Your viewers who are listening to this podcast, they can still now they can straight go to the PCI Security Standard Council website on the PCI Perspective blog, and they can get the straightforward information. And we also have published something on AI potential security risk on with the AI. And I'm going to talk about this in my upcoming presentation, which is going to happen in my in the Payment Security Summit. I'll walk them through the various aspects of what we have published as a blog post. Definitely, yes. Answer to your question is yes. We are working, and this is the evidence of of what we are doing in terms of helping industry when it comes to the uses of AI.
Absolutely. It's nice to see that PCI is making it so accessible, information so accessible to the public. And I think your presentation is going to throw a lot of light on, all these critical areas
Absolutely.
as well.
My presentation is going to be a little more different from what I have been presenting in my earlier sessions. But this is going to be interesting because of the fact that we are actively involved in this region today.
Absolutely.
And there are plans of getting more involved in the region, and this is one of our priority market as well. So we will ensure that the industry stakeholders get the best information or whatever is required that's going to help them protect the paper data.
Right. We spoke about the Payment Security Summit, and we know that it's just a few weeks away. It is shaping up to be a very exciting event because we've got PCI, we've got ISACA, Al Etihad Payments, UBF, and all partnering together to address this very critical issue of payment security. So tell us a little more about your presentation and also why you think stakeholders should definitely be a part of this summit.
Absolutely. I think I don't want to take away the thrill by saying everything about what I'm going to present, but few things that I'm going to make sure that I educate the stakeholders on 28th of May is telling them about the regional involvement that we are witnessing at this point of time. We'll talk about more on the standards update. We'll talk about the future of how the standards are going to look like and what are the key priorities for PCI Security Standard Council for 2025. So these are a few quick snapshots that I'm going to talk about. But here from this platform, from your podcast to your viewers, I just want to tell them, please do come because this is going to be a collaboration effort of Q&A with the PCI Security Standard Council, and thank you for that. Where you are hosting us at your event and helping us spread awareness around the standards of PCI. And here, this is the platform where you get to meet the stakeholders coming from the banking, financial institutions, merchants community, the service providers, and I think the fintechs. They all are going to be there. They're going to be interested to know what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
It's all about the like-minded people coming together, exchanging the views, thoughts, and helping us to know what's the next course of action that we need to take, or what are the feedback, so that we can help them protect the payment data.
Absolutely. Let's not talk more about the summit because it's very interesting, and we would like more and more people to come and attend and be a part of it. So, and payment security is a subject we can talk a lot about, but I think we should reserve it for the summit now.
No, definitely.
Absolutely.
I'm really happy, and I would like to thank again Q&A
Pleasure,
to organize this payment security summit in UAE. And looking forward to it.
Absolutely. We're all looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Nitin, for taking the time out of your busy schedule. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anita, and thank you, Q&A, for your support.
Thank you.